Hey guys, today we are in Monroeville, Pennsylvania at Steel City Con. We are here for the 40th anniversary of the movie Christmas Story. A lot of the actors are here. We're gonna go in there and try to meet them and take you with us. So are you ready, Bobby?
I'm ready.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll.
There are so many guests in the other building that they put the Scream group out here and the Christmas Story group. So we have to go in here to meet them. I think there are 39 guests at this convention. A Christmas Story. Hi, how you doing, Peter? Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Hey. Any way you can write like Old Fudge, your character's name?
Yeah.
You can write as big as I'm gonna get everybody on it.
Cool, man.
How you doing, Scott? Great. Can you write stuck on there in your character name? You put it wherever you want to put it.
Yeah, I got my own.
You got your own little thing? All right, man. Appreciate it.
Stuck, right?
Yeah.
What's the show called?
We got a YouTube channel, J&B in the Hills.
I like saying "Say Uncle," that works, or "Cry, Cry, Baby, Cry."
Okay.
But the other one.
We have you on the other poster with you saying that, or
Okay,
what
well
but you
then-
can put something different on this
Yeah,
one.
perfect.
Whatever you like.
Whatever you like. Whatever you're in the mood for. How's that?
Thank you, sir.
All right. How you guys doing?
How you doing?
Can you write oink oink on there for me?
I can, yeah.
Need me to hold that? How you doing? Triple dog dagger on there?
Make sure Scott can know your writing. Sometimes he does.
That's right, he does write it. Good, you're the last one on here.
Last but not least.
Thank
Save the best for last.
Yeah. Who do you usually write?
Who's next?
Oh, okay. Who's next? Yeah, okay. That sounds good.
That's the one.
Nice to see you. Welcome aboard. Always welcome. Hey, everyone. Super. You guys have microphones on your chairs. Just flick them on.
Turn them on. There we go.
This is so wonderful to have you guys here.
This is great. My feet don't even hit the floor.
Mine do for once.
Like the 8-year-old back in school.
So first off, I'd like to ask you about the latest film, Christmas Story Christmas. How did that come about? What was the timing on that? How did that finally happen?
This man right here.
Well, 39 years in the making was that one. We figured it was kind of now or never, I think. I'd been developing it for about 5 years. We wanted to have the whole cast back, and we really wanted to get the story right. We wanted it to be a movie that fit with the original, that was its own story and wasn't just kind of a series of callbacks to the first one. And I know a lot of sequels have not been great for a lot of the fans for a lot of movies over the years. And so we just really wanted to work hard to get it right, or we just weren't going to do it.
It turned out amazing. It was such a fun film.
Yeah.
It really was.
These guys were great. You appreciate that. So Pete called me when they said, okay, you got the movie. Pete says, okay, don't cut your hair. We don't know what we're going to do yet. Don't cut your hair. And I said, okay, 1973, bar owner, Indiana, fat mustache, sideburns, Elvis Aloha. Go over to Bulgaria. I went in the makeup room. He didn't see me yet. They did a little coloring of the gray, you know, old whatever. And he walks in. He goes, dude, they did a great job. Look at this. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, dude, you get the burns. No, this is mine. No, this is mine. I grew this stuff out. So, no, so he definitely let us work on our own stuff. And we kind of knew the background of the characters, so it worked out great. But I always say this, and he knows I say this, but I always say this in the crowd. Anybody who loves the new movie, you can thank all of us, but this is the driving force that got this done. And he's made it happen.
What was the audition process like? We'll go down the line. Do you remember much of the audition?
For the first one?
The first one, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there was much audition.
I had, I think I was 12 when I did it, and back then we'd all go up for a lot of the same parts for a lot of the classic movies. Some we got, some we didn't. And I remember I got an audition, and I went in for it. It was called A Christmas Story, and I went and read for Bob Clark. Bob later told me that I happened to be the first kid that he saw for the role, just the way the timing worked on the sheet. And he later told me, he said, I walked in and he's thinking, man, this is the guy. This has got to be the guy. He's like, but I'm not hiring the first kid that I see. So he went out for 3 months, auditioned tons of people, but I guess I just fit the criteria of what he was looking for. Then we all went up to Canada and then we did a screen test, which is never fun, where we each get to be Flick, Schwartz, Randy, and we kind of mix and match roles, and they do chemistry reads. And then they narrowed it down to our group, and it was pretty cool because Bob, remember, turned to me and said, you've got the role if you'd like it. And I was like, yes.
I had the easiest audition in the history of Hollywood for A Christmas Story. Wednesday, I go in to see Bob Clark. He had seen the toy. Calls me in, how you doing? We talked for a few minutes. He's like, listen, I missed lunch. You want to go have a hot dog? We were in Manhattan. We were in New York. I said, sure. We went out. We had a hot dog. We talked for a few minutes. I come back. He says, thanks for coming. You want me to read something? I saw the toy last weekend. I know you can do anything. Don't worry about it. Okay, thanks for coming. I walked 7 blocks to my agent's office. She asked me what happened. I told her. She goes, he called already. You got the job. So I got the job basically over a hot dog.
I did what we call a cattle call meeting hundreds of kids go in, and my lines were originally Grover Dill's lines, so I was like, get over here, nah, you're Aunt Tilly, and that was it. And then next, and so I did that like 5 or 6 times, got down from 300 kids down to 10, and then I got the job, and I showed up on set. Actually, I met Yano when we were in the wardrobe room. We were trying on the outfits. We clicked right away, and we actually got to pick out kind of our own clothing. They put out the stuff, and I liked the hat. He liked his hat.
Any fond memories of working with Melinda Dillon and Darren McGavin?
Ian, do you have any memories? I mean, you did such a great scene with her.
Yeah. For me, the first time I think when we met them was in the Higbees when they came to pick us up after we got thrown out of Santa's Mountain. And that scene, running up to her, giving her a big hug, that was our first scene working with her. And it was I just went to go hug her because it's like, you're the mom from Close Encounters. But nah, she was a sweetheart. So
yeah, she was the best. And she, I think if you look at her career, she really did what she wanted to do and didn't do stuff that she didn't want to do. And she kind of retired early. And I know Paul Thomas Anderson got her to do a film late. And then when it came to the sequel, she just, we all kept in touch with her, and I talked to her about it. She was kind of intrigued, but she said, I really am just done. And so she was just finished. But she was you know, to have an on-screen mom and dad like that when you're on location for a long time. We all had a lot of family with us, but they kind of become parents as well. And we couldn't have asked for two better ones.
My question's actually for you two. Was there any confusion on set being actually named Schwartz and playing Schwartz?
There's, oh man. People go, all right, Schwartz, and I go, yeah, they go, no, the other Schwartz.
Yeah. We actually had more confusion, I would say, on the newer movie. Because they would always say, Schwartz walking, and we didn't know if it was like him or me or like.
Was any of it improvised, or was it all just scripted?
Oh, that's me. No, that was me, because in the script it just says flick, sticks, tongue to pole. That's all it says. There's just a direction. And I asked Bob Clark, our director, I said, what do you want me to do here? And he's like, whatever comes natural. He's like, you work with Richard Pryor and Jackie Lee, said you can come up with anything. You just do it, and if I hate it, I'll tell you. And I said, okay. So all that stuff you see, stuck, don't leave me, come back. I ad-libbed all that and just came up with it. And we did it a few times, and then Bob's like, all right, give me more, go bigger. And as I went bigger, and he goes, no, the way you did it, that you do it your way, okay. And it stuck, you know, it's stuck in the movie, I guess you could say.
I remember the whole bell rang thing was like, that was all improv. I remember that bit.
I
The bell
remember
rang.
when the weird kid walks up to me in hippies. Bob was great about not telling you what he was going to do and rolling the camera. So I'm standing there thinking this is the moment they're going to cut to when I'm waiting in line. And this dude rolls up. And he starts getting real close to me. And he starts telling me what he likes. And he's like, I like the Tin Man. I'm like, and it was very genuine. And when I said, don't bother me, I couldn't think of why. I'm like, I'm thinking. And I was looked at Bob like, who is this? Like, did he sneak on the set? And Bob was just like, oh, we got it, cut. He loved it. And the other big one he didn't tell Melinda when the duck came out that it was a full duck with its head on. So when it lands and you see her reaction, it's completely genuine. And then I don't think he told Darren that he was going to chop the head off. So and we're just laughing hysterically at it. So he was really great at kind of setting up that stuff.
My question is, do you have a favorite scene that didn't go right, like a blooper that you just continue to film?
When you did the eating like a piggy, did your mom have to come in?
Yeah, they brought my mom in to try to get me to laugh.
And what did she do to get you to laugh? Did it work? Fish heads?
Yeah, she sang the Fish Head song.
He wasn't getting the reaction perfect that he wanted in his close-up.
Well, he wanted that natural laugh.
Right, and then your mom's like, oh, I can make him laugh.
Right, so she would come in and just do whatever, like, she sang I think the Fish Head song.
Fish heads.
And she'd tell fart jokes.
And then he starts rolling. Yeah. I remember because my reaction was like the old man's, which was, what is going on there?
Bob would
just kept rolling and rolling. I remember he must have shot like 3 hours on that.
Yeah, it took a long time. And Bob would even try tickling me under the table. And then would just...
When we were beating him up in the alleyway, and then I grabbed RD, and I was wrenching his arm, and he was like, Uncle, and you could, it wasn't there, and Bob was like, make him get there.
Okay, boost it up, yeah?
Oh yeah. And then so when you hear him go, Uncle, I go, that's me hurting him. You can see it in his face because he's got that like, because he's
very real.
Yeah,
doing the movie.
Oh no, yeah. There was like I was the biggest kid there, and I won.
Bob kept us away.
Yeah,
myself, Peter, and RD.
He kept the three of us together and the two of them together.
And the two bullies because they didn't want us to be friends with.
Schwartz wasn't the only victim here. Well, we had the arm scene too in the back alley, and that was real too. And it was freezing.
Yeah,
It was nice. He didn't have to hit me hard, but after the 16th take, my arm was like blue.
Oh,
and it hurt.
What would Brando do?
Man.
Right?
Man.
There was also one, everyone was like, oh, you did a great job crying when they threw the snowball. I was like, yeah, because they threw a snowball into my face. It hurt, and I started crying. I was like, yes, thank you for the compliment.
My question is for the leg lamp scene. Did they keep it authentic and actually keep it a surprise, or did any of you know what was coming in that package?
That's a good question.
I kind of remember it being somewhat of a surprise.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, like, really go for it when you touch the leg. That's kind of weird. He's like, just make it like it's kind of like you're really fired up about it.
And he's 9.
Yeah, the character's that. I was 12 at the time. So, I mean, again, yeah, but I do remember thinking, gosh, is this going to work? This is a very strange object, but it was obviously really cool.
I just remember I got sick. That's when I got food poisoning. Oddly right after the piggy scene. And then we had to show up on the set, so I was sick that day, so I don't think I even really cared what was in the box.
Do you guys remember anything? Was there a big movie premiere for it when it came out? And do you guys remember anything about it?
I went to go see the movie with this girl I had a crush on in grade 8. I'm from Canada, so we call it grade 8, not 8th grade. She was French Canadian. She had that hot French Canadian girl accent. You guys, all the guys know what I'm talking about. I went to go see the movie, and the whole time I was like so nervous. I wanted to hold her hand or like put my arm, but I was scared and I was nervous. We walked outside, and she had the short haircut because it was the 80s, so there was like 99 to balloons, very cool. And so I'm standing there, and I'm like, so hey, what'd you think? You liked the movie? You think it was cool? And she goes, no, I don't like this so much, and leaves. And gets on the subway, like, no, I don't like this so much, bye-bye, and gone. And I'm left standing like, oh, okay, I was in the movie, okay, whatever. Like, that was my level of stardom. Nope. And I think, an out. Yeah. It broke my heart. Yeah, it was cool.
What do you think about this film makes it so multi-generation? People, kids watching it, still watching it. 24-hour marathon, seeing it on television. What elements of this movie you think made it the classic that it is?
I don't know, the biggest probably, and you guys, I'm sure hear from fans as well, but the biggest thing I think I most consistently hear is, that's my family. Yeah. There's a relatability in the family. And it felt like, I don't know, for the first time, it was like a real family. You know, that dad is one wrong comment away from snapping. But the mom's there to kind of keep the peace. But it's kind of messy. The brothers are at each other's throats, but at its core, there's a lot of love. You know, and so you feel like, okay, that's real. They're not trying to make it saccharine or dark for dark's sake. And, you know, it just leads up to what I think is all of our Christmases. You want it to be great. You gotta be around people sometimes you don't wanna be around. You gotta grin and bear it, but then Christmas morning comes and there's kind of a little magic in the air. And so, like, it just retains those feelings, and at least I always hear that it felt for the first time like a family that was theirs.
Do you have a favorite line that's pretty quotable? For me, I like the fragile one.
That's my personal favorite, actually. Yeah.
Love fragile. You know I love fragile.
Not a finger.
Not a finger.
Yeah.
Not a finger.
I think the dad all the bills.
The dad owns the best.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, the Christmas Story house is an actual house in Cleveland. When was the last time you guys were there, or like your best memory, like revisiting it after like filming?
Never been.
I was there last year. I raised money for Alzheimer's. My dad's got it, so if any of y'all have family with Alzheimer's, well, thank you. Let's support Alzheimer's Association. If you have any family with Alzheimer's, the Alzheimer's Association is great. Reach out to them. They can give you a lot of services. Yeah, I was there last year. They're awesome. I remember when Scotty was there, and I was there. I don't know if, I think Ian might have been, but when the house first opened, do you remember that? Yeah.
5 or 6.
It was a long time ago, and it was crazy because you go like, the house is opening, that's cool, whatever. And we're inside, and I walked outside for a second, and literally there were 10,000 people lined up down the street, and I was like, eep, Like, it was terrifying. It was awesome, though, just that response.
You couldn't see the street.
No, there was no sidewalk.
There was no
packed.
sidewalk.
All heads.
You looked to the left, it was all heads.
Oh, it was crazy.
Dead straight across the street was all heads. To the right was all head. I mean, it was.
Felt like a beetle.
I think the 24 hours, once it became the marathon, made such a huge difference because not only were you playing it at Christmas, you were playing it, right, all day. So it was like, yeah, we became your family, you know? So we were always there, and it just became everyone's tradition. And we keep hearing that all the time as we do these cons and these shows, that, you know, it got passed down from generation to generation in that respect, and hopefully it keeps going.
Any memories you'd like to share about Gene Shepard, because he was brilliant?
You go first.
Okay, I can share one. Yeah, Gene was great. We got to meet him. They had worked, Bob Clark and Gene Shepard worked together for close to 12 years to get the movie made. Nobody wanted to make it. Bob had to put his salary into the movie, agree to do other movies. So by the time they got there, they were really well prepared and passionate. And I remember a couple times I'd be doing a scene, Bob would go to the bathroom, and then Gene would run up to me, and he's like, you need to do it a little more like this. And he'd say it like this. Bob would come out, see it, and scream, "Get away from my actor!" And then run up to me and say, "What did he say to you?" I was like, I don't know. He said more like this. They did it because they cared. There was just a great passion with him. And Gene was around. Bob read the narration for me off camera. And then Gene obviously did it afterwards. But it was just a couple guys that really cared, had tried a very long time, and it was a great lesson of just being a part of a process. They didn't expect the film to be great. There was no hype on the set. I always called it take your lunch pail to work movie, because they were grinding. They were just grateful to have the chance to get it made.
One instance at Higbee's, because other than that, I didn't see Gene Shepard at all. And somebody asked Gene to describe a big pen. This man was the master of the English language.
Thank you guys so much for coming out and doing this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very Merry Christmas, guys.
Give it up